So we're going live, and now we're live. What's
Oh
up,
God, we're
everybody?
live.
We are live. So this is the first episode of the comics.tumblr video podcast that we're gonna try to do consistently. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna keep it short tonight because it's our first one. It's really rough. I'm a
And
mess.
awkward.
Everyone else looks marvelous. Say hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hola.
So we have Enrique from Gamer Assault Weekly, Marlene from everywhere, YouTube, MTV's My Life is Liz,
You just had to bring
Tumblr.
that up, didn't you?
I mean, it's a great series. I think the show had potential. It just was cut weird. I have opinions. So do you guys just want to dive into it, or do you want to talk more about who you are?
I think we should dive in and have people
let's
get to
just
know
dive
us through our opinions,
Okay, so
mini quirks.
the topics we have are all. I feel like I'm definitely the odd man out on all these, but we'll just get through it. Aquaman photo. Zack Snyder, who's directing the new Justice League Batman movie, super thing, released this image of Jason Momoa. If I can figure out how to do it. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, right? This is it. And
Ooh.
the internet lost its collective minds, except for me. You guys go ahead and talk about how much you love it. Like, tell me what. Can you convince me why this is amazing?
Do you want to go
It's
first?
cool. Yeah, go ahead, Marlene. You do it.
No, you go first. Go ahead.
I was just say, like, it's cool in the fact that it shows us a really badass Aquaman.
I agree that Aquaman is badass, but he's
Like,
badass.
this is the guy that could beat you to death with a goldfish.
Sharks, yeah. There's a great panel of him eating, what is it? He sends like all these sharks up to eat somebody. I forgot the panel, but Aquaman is definitely a badass. I won't deny that. My issue here is the tattoos and the lack of color. It's
Well,
just
here's the thing.
He's just
It's not. The thing is, no matter. Jason Momoa is kind of typecast a little bit now because if he ever has a beard and long hair, he's gonna be immediately Khal Drogo. Like, there's no way around that.
they could
And
make him blonde.
what?
They could make him blonde.
I mean, it
It's
looks like
like,
he's
I
got,
don't
like,
think that's what they're going
sun-bleached
for.
hair.
They're going for, like, native Hawaiian. They said he was, like, a surfer dude or something, didn't they? They're going for, like, a native Hawaiian, like, in touch with the elements of water or whatever kind of thing. And he's part native Hawaiian, and I think he has Maori roots or whatever. So they're doing, like, the whole tattoo thing as kind of like a reference to his culture. And plus, it references the arm piece that's like really traditionally Aquaman. They just like mirrored it with tattoos on the other side.
So
Yeah, see, I can't understand that because it gives him this whole, like, Pacific Islander water tribe kind of thing going on. Which, I mean, I agree with you that for whatever reason, DC has this love of sepia, and I do wish that this was more colorful.
I wish.
The image is desaturated, so you don't know the real colors.
Well, there's some, like the gold's in there, the little highlights are in there. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I did. Awesome, Alex. But this is what I want. This is the Aquaman that I want. This guy.
Do you want, like, the bright orange scale vest? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I
want
can't see it.
bright orange. I want oh god. Yeah, bright orange, bright green. It looks like they did get the little Aquaman crest, right, which is cool. This little symbol. This trident's cool. There's cool elements to it. I guess I just want color, and I wanted Aquaman, not Khal Drogo with the spear. A trident, sorry. Trident. Please don't hate me.
We don't hate you.
But I think you're right. This is just a teaser. We don't know enough.
The thing is, realistically speaking, the King of Atlantis would not strike fear into the hearts of his enemies with, like, gold lame and, like, bright green spandex.
Not with that
So-
attitude.
So I
I feel
think
like-
they're trying to make him more realistically badass.
I'm just saying, if Namor can strike fear wearing nothing but a green speedo, I think
In
Aquaman
the
can pull off.
comics, he can. In real life, if a dude in a green speedo came up to you, I don't think you'd be very threatened.
I don't know. It's New York, so like all kinds of crazy homeless people wear all kinds
I don't
of
know if he carried himself the way that Imperious Rex does. I'd be pretty flabbergasted.
I think if anybody rode up to me on a shark, that's like time to walk away, right? Like that
Cause
guy's
some concern.
I'm gone. It's enough.
No, but my one issue, which I agree with Alex on this, is that I'm afraid that as a whole, the movie in general is going to be very, in terms of the colors, very toned down.
Yeah.
Like, I know we were talking about this earlier, where Marvel, they embrace the comic bookiness, and you see, like, Avengers has bright green guy, bright, gold and red armor guy. They have, like, the bright blue, red and white, and then with even, like, Man of Steel, like, a costume that's supposed to be so iconic and bright, it was a very muted dark blue and a very depressing, melancholy red, and it's, I don't want that for my Justice League movie.
Yeah.
But even in Avengers, though, because Captain America's costume, if you compare, like, the costume that he originally had in Captain America that he would, like, do the tours with to, like, pump up the troops or whatever, that was, like, comic book Captain America with the super bright, like, red, blue,
Right.
and white. But
And
the
they-
actual, like, Avengers cap is muted, and it's okay because it looks better that way.
Although he is muted, but he's still very colorful. Like if you look at him and see if I can pull up an image. Captain America. I should probably not talk while I type.
I guess look at it this way, like, I could show somebody a picture of Captain America without telling them who it's supposed to be, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's Captain America. If I show somebody that picture of Aquaman without saying that's Aquaman, they'll look at it and be like, oh, it's random, tribal islander guy.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing iconic about him.
So Marlene is right. Captain America is a little bit muted. The blues they don't pop as much. But I mean, his shield is pretty iconic and colorful.
I mean, it's possible that the Aquaman that we see in the pictures, once we get like an actual look at him that's not all desaturated and super gloomy, that he has like more color in him.
Yeah.
But I think DC as a whole, like you guys said, is just a little darker and grittier.
I just feel like they're always apologizing to me for making a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like, they can't just give me like a bright colored superhero. They're like, hey, here's Superman, we're sorry. Hey, here's Aquaman, sorry.
I just hope he talks to fish at this point. That's really the most you can hope for from Warner Brothers and Legendary is that he talks to fish. Oh hey Siri. Is that he just talks to fish.
I want like the old 1980s like weird like boop, 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 like things coming out of his head.
Please no, don't do it. No, I don't want that.
Fish, hear me. I like that in comic books he just sort of has conversations with them now. He doesn't like do that psychic power thing. He's just like, "What's up, fish? How's your day? Say hi to your mother for me." So speaking of movies, because we do have to segue, and segues are awkward.
Segway!
Segue music. Spider-Man and the MCU, Sony and Marvel. To recap the news, I'll do it. To recap the news, Sony and Marvel came to an agreement. Came to an agreement that Marvel would bring the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the Amazing Spider-Man universe with Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield, who I guess not Andrew Garfield anymore. No one knows what this means exactly yet, but what Marvel did officially say is that Kevin Feige is going to consult on the Spider-Man universe moving forward for a long time. That Spider-Man is going to appear in the MCU in some capacity. We don't know what that means yet, but he's going to appear somewhere. And hopefully Spider-Man movies will stop being so lame. That's what we know. That's what we know. And then the internet went and took it as Marvel got Spider-Man back, which is not what happened.
mean,
It did and it didn't.
yeah, for all intents and purposes, it did. It's because it read to me like it was like a cross-license deal. Sony says, "Hey,
Uh-oh.
but we still technically own him and make money."
Say that again. You kind of glitched up.
I was saying that like it read to me. It read like it was a cross-license deal where Sony was saying, "Hey, you guys can use Spider-Man and Spider-Man things, but we still get the money for it."
Well, the way it works is they agreed that Spider-Man would appear in a film and potentially other films, but Sony still retains creative control. So even though there's Marvel people working on the character and helping them develop Sony's subsequent Spider-Man movies, Sony still, holds the reins, so to speak.
Right.
Which is cool because at least Spider-Man gets in the Marvel Universe now. The question is, who's going to play him? What version of Spider-Man is going to appear? From what I understand, they're going to put him back in the high school environment, kind of really traditional Peter Parker kind of stuff. But they haven't specified that it's going to be Peter Parker, so a lot of people think that it might be Miles Morales or another version of Spider-Man. A lot of people hope it will be. Let me clarify.
I feel like Miles Morales requires a lot of setup. I would love to see Miles Morales. I would love to see a new young black, 14, 15-year-old kid play Miles Morales, who's 12. But his origin story requires so much setup. Peter Parker has to die. Miles Morales has to be, because Miles Morales, at his core, without his powers, he's a Spider-Man fanboy. That's what makes him so adorable. He's like, I love Spider-Man. Like, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, in the way that Miss Marvel loves Captain Marvel, right? Like, he's got this young reader's perspective of being this fan, and then he gets thrust into that world, and it's like,
dream.
Yeah, it's like in the 90s and the early 2000s, they used to make a lot of these kids movies about. I'm trying to think of one that's a good example. The kid who breaks his arm, and then he gets super pitching powers and joins the
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, so you had a bunch of these movies like Rookie of the Year and Angels in the Outfield, where these kids who were just rooting for these teams got to go be part of it, and I think that's Miles Morales would be great because that's such a great thing. But there's so much setup. You have to give him an origin movie, and you'd have to sort of explain that Peter Parker died at some point.
Well, what if they just made Peter Parker not white Peter Parker?
Wait, what?
A lot of people are saying that they're going to have Peter Parker, but he's just not going to be white. It's not going to be Miles Morales. It's going to be Peter Parker.
Oh,
he's just not going to be white.
Superheroes can be whatever race they are. I feel like when you break down a character description, race is just never in there. It's just Peter Parker is a science geek. He's he kind of clumsy, screws up all the time. He's late. He's just a typical teenager who's going through unpopular kid stuff. There's never been someone who's and he's definitely white. It's super important to his character. Don't ever change it. He can be black. It's fine. He could be Spanish if he wanted. I mean, Spider-Man is just a person. I
just want my own moment. I just want my moment of headcanon where at the end of Age of Ultron, we'll see the aftermath of the big epic battle, and people will be kind of clearing debris, and then you find a family that's almost buried under the debris, but they're not. And then when you pan on the camera, you see it's being held up by webs. I want that to be how they introduce him.
Because I hate everyone, I want a portal to open. I want Steve and Thor and everyone to look at it and be like, hey, that's an alternate New York. That's crazy. What's going on over there? And they go and check it out. And then they're well, this is weird. There's a Spider-Man. I gotta get home to Pepper and whoever else. And they come back and that's it. I hope it's just so stupid and silly that it's just that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because Sony has agreed to let Spider-Man appear in a Marvel film, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play a major part. He literally could have like a 3-second cameo, and that would satisfy the requirement. So people are getting really hyped thinking he's going to like join the Avengers and be like this super cool dude, but in reality, it's probably not going to be the case.
I think what would be great, and to me this feels more realistic as far as Marvel Studios, is him showing up in a post-credit scene. He's beat in a post-credit scene, and he gets a one-shot where they kind of chase him down. Or on Avengers or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they maybe explore it for a couple of episodes, and then they get back to what they're doing. I think the whole point of bringing...
I mean, if they just never really show him, and all they do is, like, they show the webbing and, like, silhouettes of him, and that's it.
They show portals and, you know, things like that, but...
You really hung up on this
built around this multiverse where Spider-Man can exist in another world where the Avengers don't. Yeah. So I think the whole point of bringing Spider-Man in for that one little cameo that they agreed to is just to say, we're friends now. We've kind of gotten over our beef, but we're friends.
Marvel's not going to cancel Spider-Man books anytime soon.
Marvel's never going to cancel Spider-Man books, and Sony is never going to let go of their cash cow of Spider-Man.
I'm more looking forward...
Although Marvel is pushing away from X-Men now.
Mm-hmm. They're canceling the book, and they're canceling Fantastic Four.
They're canceling the book, they're canceling the Fantastic Four, they're actually replacing mutants with Inhumans.
And they've actually decreed no more mutants, as in...
No more mutants.
Yeah, you can't create any more mutants ever.
Which I think is fair. I mean, I think the X-Men stuff has gotten so away from its original message that it doesn't hold much cultural value for having around, especially with the Inhumans taking their place. But I feel like when X-Men came out, it was trying to say something, right? And now it's kind of not. Like, it's hard to feel like this plight for the mutants when, I mean, things are pretty good for mutants, mostly.
You should say the M word.
Oh yeah. Havoc and the M word. So dumb. Don't get me started.
I know. I'm more looking forward to that. Like, let's say they give Spider-Man a small cameo and people like flip the collective shit because, like, oh my god, it's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, other studios will kind of start seeing, hey, maybe we can play ball with Marvel a little bit, and then we can see then, you know, giving rights to, like, maybe Skrulls or, you know, Fantastic Four or Universal fighting Handy Back Namor or something like that. I just hope that this is, like, the start of, like, more partnerships.
I feel like Spider-Man is a little bit special, though, because, Spider-Man is such a behemoth of a character, right? And a brand. Yeah. I feel like X-Men Marvel could easily just be like, we don't really need X-Men. We can we can get rid of them and be fine. We can demote Fantastic Four to B and C level characters. We'll be fine. Like, I feel like Spider-Man is just, he's too big. It's like trying to get rid of Captain America. You know, like, you can't really do it. But X-Men and Fantastic Four, I think Disney would have no problem. Like, we don't need these characters.
Speaking of, what do we feel about Fantastic Four and the X-Men casting choices that have popped up?
The Fantastic Four and X-Men? The X-Men. I haven't followed any of the X-Men movie news at all.
So Nightcrawler's going to be in it.
I know. Yeah, okay. I remember that because you were very excited.
I am very excited.
He's recasted, right? He's not Alan Cumming anymore?
He is recasted because it's the younger version.
Yeah, they're in the 80s now, right? For Age of Apocalypse?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, X-Men.
They also announced... No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, are they going to do any weird time travel shenanigans with this one?
I think they have to, because Age of Apocalypse, that whole story takes place in an alternate timeline that the X-Men eventually go fix. I would be interested to see if that's where the Gambit series picks up from. They're like, they fixed it. But then there's this Gambit.
I forgot that we have Gambit now.
Called? The Xtacles? No, what was the team called?
Wait, what? Marauders?
What?
Explorers?
Gambit has his own team in the
Apocalypse. I don't know.
I don't want to look it up because my keyboard.
So Channing Tatum is Gambit.
I have no qualms with Channing Tatum doing anything.
Really?
I like that guy. He loves his fans. He's just a good dude. He looks great. Like,
look, he has a really good Creole accent, which is like paramount.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
Oh, okay. So I take back everything.
Shut down all the haters.
I take it all back. That was my one concern. I take it all back.
Apparently, that was like one of the things that people were harping on. That like apparently he's from Louisiana, so he has like the Creole thing down packed.
Wow.
Like,
Perfect.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I mean, I'll be happy.
I'm good.
As long as we can get away from like the Wolverine origins.
Oh please, no.
Willy Wonka's evil stepbrother Gambit. I'm good.
Don't speak of that.
He did have the bow staff at least, although he had powers I don't remember, like telekinesis.
No, I think he had like the weird glowy pink power.
He had kinetic.
Well, yeah, he had the kinetic energy, but he like did stuff like he would make the cards float and then fire them without touching them. Like he did stuff he doesn't normally do, and he's never done anywhere ever. Like he's never had like telepathic control over projectiles.
I feel like that instance, like that movie, that entire movie was just filled with things that they just thought looked cool, and they didn't really think through in terms of like powers.
But look, they're fixing it now. Now we've got new Gambit. We have new Deadpool. So it's like they're slowly fixing it.
Something enraging. I was watching my dad loves any comic book movie period because he's at that age where he just doesn't care anymore.
Right.
So we were watching Wolverine Origins, and I was watching the director commentary along with it, and they were talking about Deadpool, and the director was saying like, "Oh yeah, we know Deadpool's a really big hit with the fans, so we wanted to throw a little homage." And apparently, the scene where he's like shooting beams out of his eyes and it burns those weird black diamonds was their version of the one like nodding to the fans, like, "Hey, we got you guys."
Yeah, that's not that's no. I'm concerned about the Deadpool movie just because I'm afraid they're gonna make it like the video game, and if it's like the video game,
the video game was fun. The video game was fun. It was good slapstick.
I own it.
It's too much. It's too much though.
I don't want Waypool. I don't want Waypool. That's it. For any of you that don't know, Daniel Way, no offense, but I think he wrote the worst Deadpool there is because he just turned him from this really sad, tragic character to this one-shot pop culture chimichanga-loving like buffoon, and the character got really old really quickly for me because he went from this really awesome tragic character who was like a psychopath, and he kept Blind Al as a hostage. And he would constantly maim people who were supposedly his friends. This guy that was obsessed with dying because he was in love with the actual personification of death. Like he had so much gravitas, and he turned him into like this slapstick humor guy, and it kind of sucks because I don't want to see that in the movie.
I'm okay with a little slapstick humor. I mean, it's really trademark Deadpool now. You can't really escape it. So I'm okay with a little bit of it, but it's like
just not overdone.
If that's all it is, like one endless joke of a movie, then it's not going to be interesting. It's just going to be trashy humor.
Like there was that leaked, I think, last year, and the script itself, I was actually really awesome, and it even had like characters like Blind Al in it. So I think they were hinting that they were still using elements from that script, and if that's the case, I'm actually going to be really happy with it.
I have a whole conspiracy theory about all that stuff. We're going to touch on it real fast.
You think it was just one big public test?
The script leak and that CG film with Ryan Reynolds doing voice stuff, I think, and we're going to find out years from now that something kind of like this happened. I think somebody put up money, had that stuff made, and fake branded it, knowing that the studio, if it blew up in a good way, the studio wasn't going to say they weren't partly responsible for it. But I think somebody took a gamble and they made this stuff, and that was a whole I think it's all fake. I wouldn't
be surprised.
I don't think Fox had anything to do with it. I think they saw it and they were like, okay, they're saying it's us. The internet seems to love it and they love us. Our stock's going up. We'll take credit. But like I think somebody who really wanted somebody who had a very vested interest in getting Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool made that cartoon or made the animated video.
Well,
Are
they
you trying to
couldn't
say we
have
got honey
because
dick?
there's actual pictures of Ryan in the capture suit, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't part of it though.
Okay.
But I think
You think it was like some mysterious wealthy benefactor?
I think Ryan Reynolds could have even been part of it. I mean, this is my conspiracy theory because to me, none of it makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that they would make a short for like no reason really.
I think they might have been testing the waters, but I think it might have been Fox behind it. Just because I didn't see much, if any, complaints about like copyright. Because I know like when the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer leaked from Marvel, is like Marvel went absolutely bonkers and like scrubbed it from the internet. I don't know how they did it, but they scrubbed every trace of that trailer from the internet.
Disney dollars.
Oh, you mean the one from like
Fox,
Comic-Con?
Yeah, from Comic-Con. So if Fox really didn't want this footage out yet, then I'm sure they could have done something similar at least. But I didn't hear anything about any copyright infringement or cease and desist or anything.
I think it's somewhere between your two theories, where I think it was made with the intention of it being like I guess almost like a publicity stunt, where they released it, and if it was like negative feedback, they would have been like, we didn't do this, but because it was positive feedback, they're like, yeah, we're totally doing Deadpool movie now.
Yeah, I mean, I think also with Fox, they just weren't. I mean, they weren't trying to hide this thing because it wasn't. According to my theory, it wasn't theirs to hide anyway or anything like that. So I think this thing happened. It worked out well for everyone involved, and we're just moving forward. I think if any of that went south, like there was a backlash against Fox, Fox would instantly come out and said, guys, we didn't make this. It's a fan film. Like, Ryan Reynolds did this on his own time. Like, we're dealing with it.
You know, out of all this, I think my favorite part of your theory is that Ryan Reynolds is such a huge fan that he actually went through so much time and effort to create this himself. And I'm okay with that.
Well, it's a huge... I mean, getting a comic book film now... So even when the X-Men Origins came out, being a comic book movie was still kind of a lame thing to do. But being in a comic book movie now, especially as an established main character, you're kind of set for a while. I mean, you've got sequels, you've got video games, toys. Even when you're done acting, you've got years of just getting paid to show up places.
Look what happened to Chris Pratt.
Yes.
That's true.
Everybody wants to be Chris Pratt or Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth.
Or Ryan Reynolds. So you're saying third time's a charm for him, right?
Everybody really wants to be a blind, muscular white guy right now.
Oh,
you should add that too. Yeah, but
anyway, segue.
All right, yeah, we did talk about this for way too long. But we are moving along, and we're gonna segue to television. Are you guys caught up on everything?
I'm not caught
up
on
Arrow. Catch up.
Marlene?
Yeah, I'm not caught up in Constantine.
On what?
Constantine.
So we'll touch on Constantine first, with no spoilers or anything. But what's the state of the show right now? I know, Marlene, you were really into it.
So it hasn't been officially canceled. It hasn't been officially renewed. From last I heard, the creators were speaking to the channel in May and pitching their ideas for the second season, and at that point we would find out if it was renewed or not.
Wow, that's a bummer, but not a bummer. I guess there's potential there, right?
There's still a thread of hope, but most people have assumed that it's probably not coming back for a second season.
I feel bad for the show because I feel like a lot of people dismiss it as like a Grimm or Supernatural knockoff and then didn't give it a chance.
It doesn't help that it comes up right before Grimm or after Grimm.
It's before Grimm, I think now. Don't quote me on that, but they changed the time slot. They changed it to be kind of a little bit early too, which I think might have hurt it more than helped it.
I think moving a show ever, especially on a Friday night, moving a show around doesn't help.
Yeah. The thing with Supernatural really kind of ticks me off because there's like, Supernatural is huge. It's got an enormous fan base, right? So when you see a character that looks just like Castiel from Supernatural, you automatically assume it's a ripoff if you have no idea who Constantine is.
Right.
Meanwhile, Castiel is the ripoff of Constantine because Constantine existed decades before Castiel was ever dreamed up, and his iconic.
And he was the original trench coat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his iconic trench coat is like a
I mean,
play from
it also
Constantine.
doesn't help that like when people think Constantine, the first thing they're going to think of is Keanu Reeves. So.
I like that movie.
I
did too. It wasn't bad,
movie.
but I'm just saying, like, like you hear Constantine, and you see this blonde guy, you're like, that's not Keanu Reeves.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like it had a lot of things going against it even before it hit the air.
I agree.
So I recently read 2 rumors about the show. One, I kind of believe both of these. I heard one that the showrunners actually have a whole second season written. And
yeah.
Nice.
They haven't mapped out.
I've also heard that if NBC drops it, Sci-Fi wants to buy it.
That's not true.
That's totally not true?
Yeah, Sci-Fi came out and said that it wasn't true.
I want it to be true, so I'm going to put it.
Sci-Fi makes me sad now.
Sci-Fi, 12 Monkeys is doing amazing. 12 Monkeys is getting crazy reviews.
How is that even a series? Because I thought the 12 Monkeys movie was pretty, like, self-contained.
Well, now it's a show. You got to watch to find out. Sci-Fi is...
like, I don't know, he makes it, like... At the end of the movie, they pretty much established that the 12 Monkeys had nothing to do with the actual virus.
Whoa!
No, you know what? That is not a spoiler because that movie's been out for way too damn long now.
That movie came out when I wasn't allowed to watch it.
I'm just saying, it's like the Terminator series. Like the events from the movie kind of negate any possibility of them continuing the story. But here we are arguing about trying to stop the 12 Monkeys again, and I don't know why.
I mean, Terminator's spoiler-proof because they change the timeline every movie. But still, 12 Monkeys, Sci-Fi is doing better. They're getting.
Are they? Okay. Because right now, my Sci-Fi meter kind of stopped at Sharknado. So.
Yeah. As did
I don't blame you. I want to see Constantine on like HBO or AMC.
Yeah, I would love it on AMC, HBO, any of those channels that would probably want to get a little bit more dark with it.
That's the thing I love about the show. It's that it's one of the most accurate adaptations.
Really?
Yeah, I mean Matt Ryan does a crazy good job with Constantine. Like he is Constantine.
Did they actually bring in the smoking at all? Because I heard that was a really big issue with it.
Yeah, they did. He smokes pretty frequently on the show now.
Yeah, I think he even smoked in the pilot episode.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Any rumors about bringing in Satana or anything?
There's a lot of rumors about Zatanna, about one of the reasons also that the show wasn't super popular at first, at least with the online community, was because the creators initially said that they weren't going to make him bisexual, which was a huge controversy. Right. But like Alex said, they have a lot, if not all, of the second season already planned out. And not too long ago, one of the creators said that if there is a second season, they're actually going to touch on that and kind of reference that part of him. So there's so much untapped potential in the show to kind of build this character out and that whole universe. So I'd be really, really sad if it disappeared and there was no opportunity to do that.
I think it would be great. I agree. It would be great to see Constantine keep going. If anything, I just wanted Zatanna to show up. That's kind of the finish line for me with a lot of shows. She's got to show up sometime. I think that's when I stopped watching. What was it? Smallville. I got to the Zatanna 2-part episode, and I was like, awesome. I'm done with this show now. I don't care.
I think I was done after the Pink Kryptonite or whatever.
Wow, that's season 1.
I was.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
There's too many colors of Kryptonite. I mean, I kept watching it, but I was like, this got real dumb real fast.
That's some Golden Age Superman stuff right there.
It's just.
Superman and the Technicolor Kryptonite.
Superman and the Technicolor Kryptonite.
Me and my brother quote the episode where he gets the red. Well, they introduce the red Kryptonite, and they show.
Oh
like
god.
all the lines of that dialogue in that episode are amazing.
Super cheesy.
Super cheesy. Like WB knew what they were doing.
They did. They did.
Those guys were. I think they knew it was cheesy and were just like, just do it. It's gonna be amazing. Kids will be quoting this for decades.
I mean, and that's cool. Like, I like when they do that with their shows. That's why The Flash is like probably one of my favorite shows on TV right now because they're embracing the comic book nature of it.
I mean,
you have Cisco who's like
naming people.
What was that? Would you love?
I would love to see
like
WB, the CW take Constantine. And
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with anything taking Constantine at this point.
Well, CW has Vampire Diaries. They have Buffy. It's not new. Oh god, that's a lot of noise. It's not new to them, but like, oh my god, I can't stop this. Hang on.
You're popular.
It's one person who just woke up from a nap, and they're just like, I'm awake from a nap. Ah! Okay.
Everyone love Alex now.
Sorry. I think it would be great to also see Constantine show up in the Arrowverse. I think Constantine and Ollie would just not get along, and then Flash would just be like, "This guy's cool. He can like just make fire show up and summon demons. It's scary." But, I think if he would be like he is in the comics to Batman and Superman, where they know him, but they're just like, "Yeah, that's this guy we know. He summons demons, and we put up with him." And that's what I want to see.
That's cool. I mean, I like the Flash and Arrow crossover, so I'd love to see them cross over with like Constantine and watch them be out of their element for a second.
Yeah. Also, I think with time travel, with the time travel stuff they're doing in Flash right now, you could mess around with. I think it would be interesting to see Constantine in different eras of his own life, as he's like learning magic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now that time travel is definitely a thing, the Arrowverse, like it would be cool to see Constantine go back and have to save his younger self from some peril or something like that.
I don't know. Whenever somebody mentions time travel now, and I just think of the Flash and Reverse Flash with like, "It was me, Barry. It was me." That still stands in one of those like the worst, most awkward like lines a villain could say.
Really? Not
Come on, dude.
There are lots of others.
I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, his whole spiel, like, was, "You remember that time you fell downstairs, Barry? It was me."
Did he really say that in the comic?
Yeah, dude. It was so
Yes.
Like he's basically like his big reveal was that he's been like traveling through time, taunting Barry his entire life, but like doing the most passive aggressive shit to him, like pushing him down the stairs or like pulling his chair out when he's about to sit down in the lunchroom.
They better put that in the show. They better put that in the show.
What an amazing villain! Because like,
please.
Villains, right? Like Lex Luthor was always big picture. Joker was always murderous, and he's just very like he had impact. But then you've got Reverse Flash, who's just messing with you throughout your whole life.
He's just so passive. Like, he's a guy. He was just so passive aggressive throughout Barry's life, and poor Barry's like, "What? What are you telling me?"
I think that's like the greatest threat, because like you mess with his confidence through his whole life. He had to get hit by lightning and become a superhero just to become like a decent human person that was like could stand up for himself.
I'm just saying, like, of all the things you could do, like, he chose like the most passive. Like, he would run and give him Indian burns without, like at a moment's notice kind of thing. He's like, "Ow, what's going on?" And then in the background, he's like, "That was me, Barry."
I gotta say, if I was Reverse Flash, that's exactly what I would do to all of my enemies. I would just pants them throughout their whole life. I would go to key moments in their life and just pants them.
Just randomly, like, hide a sock.
Yeah. I would,
That's the worst kind of evil.
Yeah. And then I guess I would tell them on their deathbed, but maybe not.
Like, I could see Alex just, like, leaning in. "It was me.
It was me." He's like, "What are you talking about?" "All the band sings. It was me." Like, what?
"That one night you went to dinner and you went to pay for the bill and your credit card got declined. It
It was me. I took it and I ran off and I bought a computer.
uh, so yeah.
All right,
But
segue.
Awkward
Gotham.
stuff
Gotham.
aside.
Are we all caught up on Gotham? Can we talk about Gotham?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we can.
I don't like, surprise, surprise, I don't like that they're trying to give Joker an origin story. I don't think
Is it
Joker
confirmed that he's Joker, like, or is that just what everybody on the internet is saying?
I think that's what everybody is saying.
So I have like a huge like anti-speculation with certain things. Like I don't like making stuff up, but like, or making these huge leaps. But the promo that they did for it, where they kept using the word joke all over the place, and
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
they made him like smile like Jack Nicholson in the series, like in the episode. He's age appropriate to be the Joker. Like there's just too much adds up. If he's not the Joker, then that's the biggest throwaway episode of in television history.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about the fact that they're trying to give him an origin story, but I feel like for what they did, I'm okay with it. Like it's whatever. In my opinion, it's completely detached from any normal DC universe or any cinematic DC universe. It's like its own thing. So the fact that he has an origin story, it's like whatever. It's not the real Joker, so it's okay.
It's not the real Joker. I don't care.
It's not the real Joker. I don't care.
I know it's not.
I just wish like Gotham knew what it was trying to do, because I'm so confused about what kind of a show it is.
So Fox has tried several times over the last 5 or 6 years to create a procedural that they could sort of have fun with. Most recently, we had Almost Human, which was a procedural set in the future.
I liked it, and they canceled it because they're jerks.
Yeah, a lot of people liked Almost Human, but not enough people with Nielsen boxes, I guess. I don't know how it works anymore. Or maybe just a vocal minority liked it. But Fox has been trying for a long time to get these sort of procedural shows that aren't just cops. Like, they need to be cops in some sort of fantastic scenario. So we had Almost Human. I forgot the 3. I wrote a blog post about this back when I was blogging, but there's like 5 other shows over the last few years, and then and now they're on Gotham, which is just a procedural, but it's in a comic booky thing. So they can have these fantastic murderers and these crimes that don't make any sense or are completely unrealistic. Like, they don't have to be grounded in reality. That's sort of their goal.
It's just weird because it seems like they're all over the place. When it first started, I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, like Commissioner Gordon and His Amazing Friends, and then like they bring in like, oh, it's not about Gordon, it's about the city, and then they start bringing in like Selena Kyle as a kid and the Penguin and all these like, what is it? They reference the Scarecrow, and it's, I don't know, it's like,
yeah.
Well, we met John Crane. We met him.
We met him, yeah.
Yeah, it's, and
this
it
is the
seems
thing.
like
Penguin steals the show. Like, it might as well be called Penguin.
Right.
Because for the majority of the show,
mm-hmm.
he is the only interesting character.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the things that bothers me. Like, it shouldn't be that way because you have such an awesome pool of characters to pull from. Why is the Penguin, who's not even the Penguin at that point, the most interesting character when they are bringing in like all these other people? I feel like they're just stretching themselves too thin and they don't really know what they're doing with it.
I do like Jim Gordon on the show, the character. I think you see a lot of classic Jim Gordon there, where he's the law. He is just lawfully good. Actually, I guess he's kind of lawfully neutral-ish right now, because he's kind of tough sometimes, but,
Can you be lawful neutral?
Huh?
Can you be lawful neutral?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm rusty in my additions, so I'm not sure, but okay.
Like
I don't remember enough to argue with you, so I'm gonna go ahead and agree.
He's whichever one is all the way on the left in the center. But he, you see these moments where he's just like, we're gonna do this by the book. We're not gonna be criminals. Like, we're cops. And I kind of like that there is that classic Jim in there, but it's an origin story, so he's got a ways to go. Bullock is coming around. I like that Bullock is shaping up.
Yeah.
Really have Gordon's back rather than just be like, ugh, this guy's a Boy Scout. He's going to cause trouble because I can't break the law around him. But yeah.
I can't care about Bruce, though. I can't find it within myself to actually care about Bruce.
At all. I don't care about Bruce.
It's like, whatever.
I feel like...
We know he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I feel like Bruce also is going to be... He's just like in a different show altogether. They're just like, we're watching. Oh, let's go check in on this mansion for some reason. Nothing's happening, but it's fine. Bruce.
It's like it's the same thing with me with Arrow. Like I can't find it within myself to care about Ollie at all. I don't.
You don't like Mr.
I don't care.
Queen?
I don't like Mr. Queen.
I
like Felicity. I like Diggle. I like.
Are you? The important question here is: are you shipping Felicity and Barry?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, still?
Although I understand now that Barry's with the other girl, and I'm okay with that too.
Yes, I actually like her way better than Iris.
Barry's technically with nobody.
He's dating the girl, isn't he?
Yeah,
the reporter.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I'm okay with it.
Isn't God? What's her name?
Sports writer lady.
Because wasn't she Wally's wife in the comics?
That's weird. That's awkward.
Yeah. I remember because I was looking at the name. I'm like, that sounds really familiar, and I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Iris, Barry, Wally.
I'm just glad that he's not with Iris.
Recently, and Enrique pointed this out at one point before, I kind of don't like that Iris is like being this weird, jealous, manipulating.
Yeah.
Sort of like there's like a twinge in there where she's like, I'm going to sabotage this relationship, even though I don't really want to be with Barry. Like, make up your mind, leave people alone, right?
That's why I'm glad he's not with her.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think maybe, you know what, maybe they just built that whole scene just to set up Barry being like, Iris, what you're doing is not okay. I'm going to go be happy now.
You know, I like that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have gone that cliche route where, Barry would have been like, oh, she still cares about me, and then, drag that on. But
yeah.
Barry immediately went, like, woman, that's not okay.
Her name is Iris, but I like that a lot of the characters are stepping out of this because they've been in this phase for a long time where they've been sort of bummed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Snow is like, my boyfriend's dead, my fiance's dead, and we blew up a city. And Wells and Cisco are like, oh, we blew up a city. But now they're getting to this part where they're like, hey, normalcy. Let's be fun science people.
It's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah, let's get our lives. Well,
it'll happen. Just wait.
I just want to get Barry to the point where he's cocky.
Yeah. I like the fact that, again, like, when you usually have like that cliche superhero relationship with like the normal person, like the superhero's life always gets in the way. But in this case, Barry is using it to his advantage, which is awesome. I didn't expect that at all.
Right. But I hope that by the end of the season we get a Flash museum.
I just want Flashpoint, which it looks like it's heading that way.
Yeah, it does look like it's heading that way.
I'm a little torn. I know I was in support of this theory, but I'm a little torn on Flashpoint in the series. Obviously, he's going to train and change his past, so he saves his mother, which means his dad's probably going to die. But I think Flashpoint would be cool. I think it's logical that they're headed there, but I don't know how it's going to affect everything like I thought it was. So to clarify, my original theory was that they go back, or Flash goes back, wins the fight, saves his mom, and alters history, and then most of next season for Arrow and Flash take place in this like alternate reality where things are messed up. But there's parts missing, I guess, as far as what goes on in the Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that aren't there for what's going on in Flash. Like in Flash, he's gonna maybe not have powers, I guess. I don't know what else could possibly change. He would wake up, he wouldn't have powers, just like in Flashpoint. He would have to go find Ollie to help him get his powers back. Ollie is obviously Ollie could probably not be there. It could be his dad. His dad could have survived the boat crash. And gone through the island and all that stuff. So it's there. I don't know. It just feels kind of too early to.
Really complicated.
Yeah. Although the show has thrown me, as we recall from Dr. Wells being Reverse Flash, I was very against that. Like it felt. It
was the obvious answer.
It was too obvious. It felt.
Occam's razor, sir.
I know.
Although, like they did throw in that little bit of doubt where he can't be the Reverse Flash full time because apparently he cannot actually walk.
Right.
Because you remember they had that scene in the episode where he just tripped up and he's like, "Oh no, not now." So whatever lets him be the Reverse Flash is obviously temporary.
True.
So I think there's more to it than that.
So I think with him being temporarily able to run or be part in the Speed Force, well, first off, that's not how the Speed Force works, but him being kind of temporarily there makes me really question all these dumb battles. Feels like a waste of his energy. He's like, "Oh, I'm bored today. I'm gonna go mess with Flash."
It was me, Barry.
It was me. I have to go back in time. I don't know. I'm so disappointed at Wells' Flash. Not because of who Wells is, but just because the show. It's just so simple. It's too simple and obvious. I hope they twist it in some other way. We'll see.
I'm just interested in what his motivations are because it's always weird when he does his like backstabby reveal at the end of like this episodes.
Yeah.
Where like
we're gonna find out soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just happy that they have Grodd in there, and he is indeed going to be a second gorilla.
But he doesn't come from the Gorilla City planet. What's it called?
Gorilla City.
Yes.
I have to say really quick. My favorite thing about comic books ever is that Black Bolt's real name is Blackguard Boltigan.
Yeah.
Yes. So good.
Gorilla City.
Oh,
unbelievable.
What's that city called? Full of gorillas.
Gorillas. I mean, yeah, I guess you
Ape Mountain.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that they'd have Gorilla City, but I mean, I think that'd probably be asking a little bit too much of the audience.
Yeah. Now you know if they do Flashpoint with this time travel thing, it means Grodd is. We're moving away from Grodd being a centerpiece, right? Like we have to go deal with all that.
I'm actually wondering what they're gonna do with Grodd because at this point he's kind of just been like that end of the episode teaser.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're just gonna leave him off as like just a little reference character, or if they're actually gonna make him a bigger overarching villain later on.
It would be cool if they do Flashpoint and then like he's the one they're going to war with. They could introduce Aquaman. It could be Aquaman versus Gorilla City.
But they're not going to do that because they just straight up. I mean, they're going to cast somebody else for Flash for the DC movies.
Okay. Oh no, it won't be. It won't be Khal Drogo Aquaman. It'll be their Aquaman. Because Jeff, what's his name? Jeff Johns hinted at this is like months and months and months ago that people should stop freaking out about the casting decisions and the fact that the TV show and the movies aren't connected. And he was like, guys, multiverse, Final Crisis. And everyone's just like, oh, okay, we'll shut up for now. So it's possible that they'll all meet, 20 years from now in a movie or something. But
I mean, yeah, that could be cool, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so far out. It's so far away.
I know. Let's just focus on the now. And like I said, Flash is being great, and I'm super happy with that show. And then S.H.I.E.L.D's coming back soon, so I'm even happier with that.
Inhumanity.
I know. Oh my god.
No more memes.
They worked that show so well.
Yeah. Well, now.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
now.
now.
After like that.
Only took them like a million episodes to figure it out.
But
Every single time I get asked if people should watch that show, I'm just like, watch the first 2 episodes, skip the entire series, and then watch the last like 5 episodes.
I know, like I think
3.
how mundane those first few episodes are really adds to the climax and turn because I remember Marlene's reaction when she finally caught up and she got to that episode and like that one moment you're like what it's like every single light bulb just went off and like when you think back on the series you're like oh my god.
I was really upset.
I don't know. I think I heard a rumor that there's, and I saw this in a lot of places, so it's multiple sources. But the rumor that I heard was that like the showrunner for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got the Winter Soldier script and just sort of like didn't look at it for a while. He's like, that's a movie. What doesn't really affect us? Whatever. I don't think that the production for the TV show and the productions for the films, because they are run by different people.
Yeah.
I don't think they coordinate as much as people believe they do. Just because they're different beasts. Like films are, you spend months and months and months doing pre-production. You spend a few months shooting it, and then you spend a few months doing post, and then you market it, you put it out, right? I think with a TV show, it's sort of that kind of process condensed into episode by episode. It moves so fast, and they can pivot and change things so much that they just really can't coordinate that well.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's like trying to.
There are 2 different timetables, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like trying to keep a train in sync with like a sports car. Like they can move as fast, but like sports car can go all over the place, do what it needs to do.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
Well, gents, I think I might have to.
No, we're doing the wrap up. Don't leave us early. We're doing the wrap up. All right. So this is our first podcast for comics.tumblr. This was fun. This went 45 minutes longer than it was supposed to.
It's the first podcast. It happens.
It shouldn't, and it won't again, I promise. This was great. So thank you. We'll do more of these. We'll do questions and interactive stuff for the next one. And hope to see you all next time we do this. Goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye.